We put power in words. The hate and the power we put in these words. These words are just words. A lot of people was defending Will Smith like, yeah, he's defending his wife's honor. So it's okay for him to then slap a comedian because he made some jokes about his wife. Money that we take and put into the foundation of Black Lives Matter is being used into their own pockets. The founders, the co-owners and stuff, the people at the very top. You donate money to certain causes and stuff, say the kid, all that other stuff. Your money doesn't go to that foundation, that organization. These social media platforms. I wouldn't be surprised if they scammers be on TikTok. They use, what is this, WhatsApp? WhatsApp is a whole thing for scammers to be on. I have a boyfriend speech is redundant at this point. You assume these presidents have so much control when it's really Congress. So regardless if it's a president like Donald Trump or Obama, we have the wrong idea when they come up in office.
What's going on? It's your boy, Innuendo. If you don't get it, we innuendo. But if you with it, when it's finished, in the end, you win. Dough, man. Let's go. Look, phone check 1 2. Okay, so everything seems like it's working. Let's bring desktop up just a little bit so we can get kind of like clarification. But yeah, we're actually this is a continuation of what happened to the guy who asked Logan Paul for a job. If you haven't checked my last video, go and check that out. I was talking about a guy who quit his job to then approach Logan Paul. This happened a while ago, but he went to approach Logan Paul and ask him for a job after quitting his job, making a pretty good amount of money, I should say. But I guess he wanted something more. But when he got up to Logan Paul, he didn't really have any qualifications, and he kind of downplayed himself. Logan Paul literally asked him, like, do you have skills? Can you do this? He was like, no, I can't. I'm terrible. I don't even know why I'm talking to you. Like, that's kind of like the mindset. It was just like, I think it was just dumb. I think it was just his mindset. He didn't think ahead and was surprised by the end result. So
because this week I decided to check in on Austin Wallace and see how he was doing. And boy, has he learned nothing from the Logan Paul incident. With that, this Dr. Phil interview that Austin did about the Logan Paul situation, because yeah, that makes sense. You're embarrassed by the whole internet. Let's double down on that shit and get Dr. Phil to cover it. You'll learn quickly that this is just classic opportunistic Austin looking to clout chase off of anyone he can, even if that person is Dr. Phil. A strange choice of a person to clout chase, but you do you.
My dream has always been to be in the entertainment business or to be an influencer. A few months ago, I started posting stuff on social media. Some of the media influencers I like are the Paul brothers. Logan and Jake Paul are like idols to me.
Okay, well, there's your first mistake. Taking Xanax before Dr. Phil interview is never a good idea. And your second mistake was idolizing the Paul brothers. It's kind of bizarre the world we live in, where now some current fans of the Paul brothers are fully grown men with fully grown beards. Austin is 23. He's my age, but doesn't act like it, as is the case with any other human who grew up thinking these two were good influences. Austin is the type of guy in high school who would take post-it notes and make what's called a paper wasp to launch at kids with a rubber band, except he would go a step further and he would put thumbtacks in the post-it note to literally impale people on impact. I realize it's a very specific thing I'm claiming he used to do, but you can't convince me otherwise he didn't do it.
Since the video went viral about meeting Logan Paul, people have been...
I didn't know he was on Dr. Phil. Okay, so that's very interesting that he kind of went into that perspective when it came down to this.
Really saying hateful stuff. I'm entitled, go jump off a building. That it's so stupid that you quit your job.
Hold on, you can't just slip one hateful thing in the middle of 3 comments and that makes them all hateful. Calling you spoiled or saying you shouldn't have quit your job is different than telling you to jump off a building. 2 of those are criticisms and 1 is wishing death upon you. Yeah, it sucks. I'm getting all these hateful comments telling me that I shouldn't expect handouts, that I should literally douse myself in gasoline, light a match, and burn alive. And that my beard looks dumb.
So what did you think was going to happen? You drive up and ask for a job.
I thought maybe I was going to get lucky. Not lucky, but like...
But this is why in my previous video I said he should have kind of not put all his eggs in one basket. He should have maybe just put like vacation time or something. I don't know. Just something where he could have had the opportunity to at least see if it worked and then went back. But the guy just was like, I'm gonna quit my job and then hopefully cross my fingers Logan Paul says yes. It's like that. I literally don't think that makes any sense.
I felt like maybe he was gonna say, hey, come on, I'll give you some advice. Let's go talk you know, and maybe you can get an internship.
I think a big part of Austin's problem is that he just can't use words. And he doesn't really know what he means when he says things. Take what he just said, for instance. I was hoping I was going to get lucky. No, I wasn't. I was hoping I'd get advice, which Logan did give him. No, I was hoping to get an internship, which would have just been getting lucky, right? So you were trying to get lucky, so just stick to that.
I was upset because I messed up and I wasn't witty enough or funny. I didn't feel like I was enough in the situation to arouse him to give me a job or give me an internship.
Oh, arouse him? What? Oh, like turn him on? Gross. Oh, I mean, it's a valid strategy, but oh my, gross. Kind of changes the whole connotation of the getting lucky thing. Did you want to fuck Logan Paul? Is that what this is all about? Wow. Look, I support you, brother. It's just a big curveball, and Jake is clearly hotter. The interview kind of ends with this weird segment where Dr. Phil brings in to touch an emu, the guy who made those really viral headphone dances that he wouldn't stop milking the fuck out of. I hate that Justin Bieber song now because of him. And Dr. Phil just kind of makes him do his dance with him to see if he has what it takes, and he doesn't. Regardless, Dr. Phil didn't really address the problem with Austin. If anything, he's encouraged it by having him on and connecting him to another influencer he can try to finesse exposure from. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Well, let's take a look at Austin's channel.
That's typically what Dr. Phil does. People like watching his shows for like watching other commentary channels watch his shows has shown me a lot on Dr. Phil. He hasn't even renewed his doctor's license, so is he really a real doctor? I feel like it's just a stage name at this point. He's like Doctor Strange. Like Doctor Strange doesn't even do doctor work anymore. That's just his name, but he's literally just the sorcerer supreme. He does the little magic stuff or whatever, but he doesn't really do doctor stuff anymore. And he wasn't really even a good doctor.
And some of his videos. Sneaking into Danny Duncan World Tour.
Doctor Strange wasn't a real good doctor. I don't know about Dr. Phil, but I haven't really heard about him. I only heard about him on these on his show.
Island Boy scared me. How I Met Bryce Hall. From the looks of it, it seems like he's still trying to use other influencers to prop up his career, which was the problem with the Logan Paul situation. No one was mad that he was trying to make it in social media. That's cool. It's that he wanted and thought he deserved instant success from somebody else, as evident of him being upset at Logan Paul after the fact. I want to be a successful YouTuber. You know what I'm not going to do to get there? Sneak into YouTube HQ and demand Susan Wojcicki to pump up my channel. Because, well, Susan, with no due respect, I think I'm pretty funny. Can you do some shit about that? Let's take a look at this video from Austin. Ask Bryce Hall to box because I think it will elaborate on what I'm trying to get at.
I was told that Bryce Hall is going to be in Destin, Florida. Anyways, I'm in Panama City right now, and I decided, you know, I like taking opportunity, and I had to do what I can with opportunity. I'm gonna go see him and try to get a job.
Great. Okay, so no lessons have been learned, and you're going to do the same exact thing you got ridiculed online for by asking Bryce Hall for a job now. I thought you said before that you weren't looking for quick gratification and that you understand it takes hard work. Why are you still asking other influencers, now even younger than you, for a job?
And I'm not all alone this time. I got my boy, Brandon.
Oh, the camera guy. But I was gonna say, like, he literally said he has no friends, he has nobody, it's just him. Who is this guy that he is bringing with him that now he has somebody? Okay, interesting.
AKA, not my friend, just a camera guy.
You got friends, you got amigos.
I don't.
Fuck this guy. Fuck my cameraman. We are just business acquaintances. So Austin and his not friend Brandon just kind of show up at Bryce Hall's pop-up tent for his energy drink brand with Josh Richards, where they're doing signatures for their teenage girl fans, where Austin definitely fits in at. Once again, like the Jake Paul fight, he's not invited, and this time he's not even a fan of them, just walking right up to them with a camera in their face, asking for a job. Yeah, you know what's actually the best way to make sure no one ever gives you a job? Filming yourself asking, yo, Bryce, yo, over here, yo, can I get a job? Like, I know, like, you're busy doing stuff, but, like, I could really use a job. Are you getting aroused yet?
I went up to Logan and asked for a job.
He said that to him? Bro. I don't know if that's the smartest thing or the dumbest thing to be like, yo, I was the idiot who did this and now I'm doing it again, so what do you think? I mean, maybe, like, I don't know, like, as he becomes more famous by these crazy stunts, that who knows what'll happen now, but it just, I don't know, it just sounds like he's playing with fire.
That is right. But can I have a job? Oh my god. I can do any stuff. Dude, you live here? No, I just moved back with my parents. They're my bro. I'm trying to start a YouTube.
I mean, let's
No, you can sell it.
Yeah. You can sell one of these bitches on eBay.
So I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not a fanboy.
I know, but you can sell it.
Yeah, you're right.
Austin, why say I'm not your fanboy? Bryce was actually being pretty nice to you, and then you just dropped that line for no reason. You would think if all you do is trying to get things from people, you would be better at it. Maybe you should be nice to the person you're begging for a job from. Bryce, I'm not your fanboy. I don't like you. Give me a job. Yo, Bryce, you're a total pussy. Hire me? You know what I hate about this situation is that they can't go anywhere. Like, it's their pop-up tent. So they kind of just have to stay there and try to get rid of Austin. So they awkwardly sign his cans, and Bryce says to Austin what I guarantee he thought was a throwaway line to make him leave.
Yeah, I want to come out to LA, for real.
Well, if you come to LA, you can definitely collab with us.
Sounds good.
Thanks for going.
Now, this is like when you're drinking with your cousins on a family holiday, and your much younger cousin comes up
He shouldn't have said that. I feel like now he's gonna come up to LA and try to collab with him.
to you and says, hey, can we play Minecraft? And you say, no, sorry, buddy, like, not right now. And they say, okay, bet, when? And you gotta say, oh, I don't know, like, maybe like an hour, just to try to shake them off. And exactly an hour later, that kid spawns at your door like a demon saying, we are playing. Like my 12-year-old cousin, Austin hung on to those words, we can definitely collab, and took it like gospel for another video.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer.
That's
How I
terrible.
met
Maybe I should sit there and buy YouTube Red. I am getting tired of these ads.
Bryce Hall. He doesn't, actually. He spends the whole video harassing Bryce. He tries to make a TikTok to get his attention. When that doesn't work, he gets his number from an anonymous source and then texts him, gets no answer, and then tries to FaceTime him, no answer. So when all options are exhausted, he just shows up at his house.
My hope was literally belittling, so I decided to go up to Bryce Hall's house, and I absolutely do not encourage anyone to do this. Never go up to a YouTuber's house, but I was literally thinking I had no other choice. As I was sitting there in front of his house, I decided that this is definitely not the right way to go about this.
Thank God you realized that, because that's fucking scary. No YouTuber, let alone any person, wants someone to show up at their house uninvited. Remember, he did all of this because 3 months ago, Bryce said,
Well, if you come to LA, you can definitely collab with us.
psychotic behavior. And I love that message. I don't encourage this. Nobody do this. But I'm gonna do this. That's one way to avoid criticism. Look, guys, I do not condone doing drugs. Nobody should do drugs. But I'm gonna do a lot of ketamine this weekend. Now again, thankfully, Austin backed out and didn't actually go up to his door, but apparently this isn't even the first time he's done this. Rewind back to after the Logan Paul incident. Austin flew to Puerto Rico to film a comeback video, sort of like a Rocky parody thing. Do you know who also happens to live in Puerto Rico? Logan Paul. Now here's a video of the guy who was filming that parody for Austin and his experience with him, who he had just met.
Austin actually didn't get any sleep from last night when he flew over, so he's going on 2 days without sleep. So he says he's going to go for a walk and clear his head. Give him a call. Turns out he's been sitting outside of Logan Paul's house for who knows how long, and he's telling me he's going to go up and ring Logan Paul's door right now.
Are we starting to see a pattern here? A really creepy stalker-ish pattern? This isn't Austin filming for
At this point, he is just seeking for attention. It's just seeking for attention at this point.
a YouTube video anymore. It's harassment. To be fair, I don't know if this guy's telling the truth. He could just be making this up, but does it seem like something Austin wouldn't do? Nah, dude, the guy that harassed and sat outside of Bryce Hall's house, you think he would do the same to Logan Paul? Yeah, probably. That does make sense, actually. In the Danny Duncan video on Austin's channel, he sneaks into Danny's live event to ask him to collab. Because yeah, showing up to Bryce Hall's house uninvited, beta move. Better yet, sneak into someone's private event without paying to ask them if they want to work together. That's how you start a business relationship founded on trust.
I don't want to collab.
My point is that Austin is infatuated with using famous people to make himself famous by crossing so many boundaries. I don't think he's a bad dude, but I think he's extremely confused on the right way to go about things. So what's got him thinking this way? Well, look no further than his inspiration, Eric.
Why is it so hard to be a creator in 2021? Who do we know who made it in 2020? Eric Decker, aka Eric. How am I gonna become the biggest YouTuber? Eric popped in my head.
I'm sure a lot of you might have heard of him before. He went from 0 to 1 million subscribers in 1 year. And a huge part of that growth was a series he did with Logan Paul that started out basically doing the same exact thing Austin did.
So the idea is to fly all the way to Miami, somehow obtaining an all-access pass, then using that all-access pass to hand deliver my resume to Logan Paul.
And he did just...
See, I know my grind on YouTube is gonna take a while, but I definitely don't think that's the right move to make to try to elevate your platform. Let it grow naturally. That's how you can kind of see how well you do. But when you kind of just try to push yourself up there, it kind of just makes you look crazy.
That he snuck into the fight. He asked Logan Paul for a job. Logan said no, and then he went to his house to try to film more content, which Logan actually got upset at.
You going to dance parties tonight?
I think you're charismatic. I have a general rule of thumb, and that's gonna come to my fucking house.
Understood.
Lightly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you guys to leave.
Easy.
Now, in the end, it worked out for Eric. He had a very popular series where he bought these expensive couches from Logan Paul, which made for good content, and the clout sharking, despite its initial hiccups, was ultimately a success. Is there a difference between what Eric did and what Austin is doing when he told us that he is explicitly taking inspiration from Eric? And I'm not really sure there is, at least in the case of sneaking into a fight and showing up at people's houses. The couch buying series made more sense because he bought the couches and had a reason to show up at his house. While it sucks to say, I think the only difference is whether you come off likable and confident to the person instead of creepy, which Austin is definitely failing at.
Times as the guy name was said in the video, it still took me forever to realize his name was Austin. I don't know why. My brain only processed Logan and Jake Paul, like, as far as that. So I don't know. That's very interesting, to say the least. But I think in retrospect, there needs to be an understanding when it comes down to those kind of things. Like, people just do the most absurd things, and it's just like, oh, whatever, I did it, sue me, whatever the case. Like, I don't know, like, the thought process behind that. Like, you try to make it big in like the wrong directions, and I feel like it's more like a different way to clout chase and try to, like, oh, look at me, I'm doing something weird and absurd, and maybe that'll make him famous and stuff. But you do that kind of stuff, and then sometimes, like, because he's still trying to keep up with that gimmick. So at the end of the day, I don't think it'll last long. He's just making people upset. If it ends up working, I'd be surprised as heck. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. I'm putting videos out every single week, pretty much every single day, man. Road to 100 on the channel. Let's get it in. Appreciate you guys. I love you, man. I'm gonna have more videos on this commentary channel. But yeah, until next time, of whatever video I post up next, and I'm gonna have a lot of other videos on the channel as well. So I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out. Love you. Bye.